Aaron Rodgers yesterday. He does not need surgery to repair the fracture in his non-throwing wrist that he sustained against the Bengals. However, his status remains uncertain for Pittsburgh's upcoming game on Sunday. The question is, do the Steelers need Aaron Rodgers on the field to beat the Bears? Swagoo, hello, welcome back. What do you think? Do they need Rodgers, the Steelers?
I don't believe they need Rodgers. Mason Rudolph has been in this system. He understands how this offense needs to operate. And he was 12 for 16 for 100-plus yards and a touchdown in his time after Aaron Rodgers went out the game. Now, albeit against a defense that's super inept. But I think having him in the building and understanding what they want to operate from offensively, they can sustain one game against the Chicago Bears. The Bears are playing well. Better football team. Kudos to Ben Johnson. And we see what Caleb Williams is doing. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers was a world beater before he left with a wrist injury. I don't think he elevated this team to a crazy level in which you couldn't have a one-off game with the backup to have a chance to win the game. This game is going to be about Pittsburgh's defense and whether or not they can stop Caleb Williams. This offense just needs to operate, not turn the football over, and maybe have an opportunity to put some points on the board. I think they can win a one-off with Mason Rudolph.
Swagoo needs to get drug tested now. Right now. Mason Rudolph? Oh, hell to the no. I don't want to see him. Yo, wrap that Aaron Rodgers. You a veteran. Have that bad boy. It's your non-throwing hand. Have that bad boy wrapped in a hard cast and get your ass out on that field. I want to hear that. I want to hear, oh, no. Wrap it in a hard cast and get up out there. I don't give a damn. I want to see Mason Rudolph. I want to see him. I don't want to see him at all. He's had his chance on many occasions. We've seen him quite often in a Steelers uniform, okay? We don't need to see him. Chicago got a 19-plus turnover. Turnover advantage over everybody this season. These brothers will turn the football over. That right there is all I need to know. I don't need Mason Rudolph out there. I need somebody that I can trust ain't going to turn the damn ball over. Oh, hell to the no. Aaron Rodgers, wrap that bad boy up. Hard cast, you understand? Tuck it in your damn belly for all I care. As long as you can sling that football, it's your non-throwing hand. I don't want to hear that, doggy. I don't want to hear that at all. Mason Rudolph, please. I don't want to hear that.
I think Swagoo, you're wrong. I think Stevie's right. I think you got to play Rodgers. Quickly on Pittsburgh. They're a game ahead of the Ravens. The next 3 weeks at Chicago, Buffalo, at Baltimore. The Ravens next 3 weeks. The Jets. Take a look at this. Cincinnati and the Ravens. That's the Pittsburgh schedule. Look at those next 3 weeks. Those are hard games. If they lose 2 out of 3 and the Ravens go sweep, Pittsburgh's going to be out of it. So this is a very important game for Pittsburgh this week against the Bears. Buffalo are playing well. Ravens in Baltimore. And the Ravens are playing the Jets and Cincinnati. They're going to be 7-5 before Pittsburgh comes in.
Let me tell you what I don't want to see at Soldier Field. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, play Mason.
The man is 25-5 at Soldier Field. He's won 8 straight. Remember the I own you. Yeah,
I still own you.
Exactly. I do not want to see that man at Soldier Field. He knows he's the winningest quarterback at Soldier Field that's not been in a Bears uniform. Please.
Oh, y'all stop with this.
Steelers.
That man is not
Mason
the same
Rudolph.
quarterback when he was busting y'all head in Green Bay.
Cool.
Okay?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. But there's something, and Swagoo, always remember this statement. Remember this statement. Residual impact. You know, it's just stuff that lingers psychologically. That's what I'm talking about.
It's PTSD. I got it with Aaron Rodgers. I want to see 8 coming out of that.
The sense I got was Rodgers would have to, he would tourniquet, he would cast, he would do anything he could to make it so that he could play against the Bears. This is a team that, based on his days with the Packers, he has clearly loved going against the Bears. I still own you and all that. But he wanted to go back in that game. He was upset that he couldn't, but it was doctors said, no, you're sitting out. I have a hard time believing that if Aaron Rodgers, as the sense I've been given is that he will do everything he can to play, I have a hard sense believing that Mike Tomlin will not play him if.
And what did you say in our meeting this morning,
Bro's going to play. Bro is going to play. I would have the shocked face that we put up for Kmart and the dude don't play. For all the things about Aaron Rodgers, He is a tough cat, and he wants to be on the field. He does not want to be known as an injury-prone player. He has a ton of pride in that kind of stuff, and I think he does whatever it takes to get on the field.
Yeah, it sounds like Mike, as Kimberly is alluding to, is leaving it up to Aaron. And he'll let the week play itself out. Like, Aaron has earned the right to kind of take his time and kind of give you then his self-assessment of where he feels at the end of the week. Although I will say this, look, Mason Rudolph is the quintessential definition of what a backup is. He can hold the fort down for a game or two. He obviously is not a long-term answer. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone out and got Aaron Rodgers the way they did. We all know that. But I think, when you're looking at this bigger picture, can Mason lead them to a win this week if he has to start? Absolutely he can. And Mike has full trust in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of expectations on Aaron Rodgers. If it's just pain, he'll probably play. The problem with the Aaron Rodgers question is we are assuming that if he shows up that this offense is going to be effective. It has not been all that effective all season long, whether he's hurt or not. I think the pain won't keep him from playing, but I think his aversion to contact, and we understand why he has an aversion to contact, that these things break a little easier. I think that's part of it. But the problem is I think we have lower expectations for him based on his age. And the NFL does not have a senior tour. Like, we can't grade it on a curve. Like, I agree. Aaron Rodgers, incredible for a 41-year-old quarterback. But he's not the level of quarterback that they need right now, considering where that team is placed.
So let's be clear. It's not his throwing hand. It's this hand. And it's really about receiving the football, receiving the snap, being able to hold on to it, the pain, the issue. How does he, I guess, Jeff, my question to you is, how that quarterback where you have an offense that's not really in sync right now with a quarterback who even you're worried about receiving the snap, how do you feel about him playing in that game?
No, I think if he goes, hey, man, I can do it, he's taking enough snaps, like, you understand what you're going to get. And so the way that he receives the snaps, however he has to take his hand to take the pressure off the wrist, like, these guys are smart enough they'll figure that part out. But I do think for all of our toughness, there is something that pain does to all of us, and it can make you make bad decisions, make you hurry, changes the timing and the clock in your head. Like, that's where Tomlin is going to have to balance this, right? Because there's a point where you're a detriment to your team if you start getting rid of the ball out of sequence when you need to be taking a shot. Instead, you're not. I think those are the things Tomlin will have to manage as he gets either in the game or before the game. Because again, if Mason Rudolph can get you through this one, give him 2 weeks. That's what you would. I
think that. Look, I think Jeff just hit it on the head. That's what you're worried about. The extended plays, the second, the second reaction type throws. He's not going to want to do that. I wouldn't want to fall on the ground. Right. I wouldn't want to be thinking, can I put my left hand down and brace myself or not? Yeah. I'd be like, yo, this ball is out of here. Yeah. It's going somewhere. It ain't staying with me. And I don't know if you want him in that kind of situation.
Yeah, when you put the expectations on a quarterback like that, they'll probably put a cast or something to protect from the brace. He'll probably be on some sort of painkillers. To your point, the pain won't be the problem, but what the pain does to the way that you think about playing the game will impact you. The decisions that he's going to make in that game, already in a situation where he's getting rid of the ball really quickly, those decisions will be sped up.
Let's say this about the Bears, though. He likes the style that the Bears on the defense. Yeah. And so that also, let me just tell you, that's tempting for a quarterback, right? To know that you come out and have,
the Bears defense has been a lot of turnovers, is like driven the success they have.
That's right.
Rodgers obviously historically not a turnover.
That's exactly.
We're going to get to the Bears.
This is Steelers Nation Wire. And today we are diving headfirst into one of the most revealing moments of this entire 2025 season. Pittsburgh just walked into Cincinnati, stared down their division rival, and walked out with a statement win that felt like a seismic shift across the entire AFC North. A 34-12 beatdown. A complete reversal of what happened the first time these teams met, and maybe, just maybe, the moment the league finally realizes that this Steelers team is not the inconsistent group people kept criticizing. This team is evolving, transforming, and proving that their identity is stronger than ever. This wasn't just a regular season win. This was a psychological breakthrough, a declaration to the NFL that Pittsburgh can adjust, adapt, and attack weaknesses with intelligence and precision. In their first matchup against the Bengals, Jamar Chase had one of the most dominant performances the Steelers had given up all year. 16 catches, 161 yards. He looked unstoppable, and people across the media world assumed he would do it again. But this time, Pittsburgh flipped the script. 3 receptions, 30 yards, barely a factor. The Steelers' defense erased the biggest threat Cincinnati had, suffocated the Bengals' rhythm, and controlled the entire game from start to finish. And while the defense delivered a powerful, pride-filled performance that reminded fans of classic Steelers football, the offense revealed something that caught everyone off guard. A subtle shift, a quiet change, a decision that many people noticed but didn't fully understand at first. The snap count shakeup at wide receiver. Out of nowhere, Roman Wilson, yes, the explosive rookie who has been flashing potential all season, ended up with more snaps than Calvin Austin III. 37 snaps for Wilson, 19 for Austin. Fans immediately flooded social media asking what this meant. Analysts questioned whether Austin was hurt. Others wondered if Wilson had suddenly vaulted ahead in the depth chart. The truth, as it turns out, is far more interesting. Steelers insider Jerry Dulac went on the Randy Baumann and the DVE Morning Show, and he gave a rare look into how these decisions are made inside the Steelers building. He explained that the rotations are heavily influenced by the assistant coaches, and that Pittsburgh often uses specific players for specific packages. That alone explained part of the story. But when Dulac compared Wilson's sudden increase to something the Steelers have already done this year with their running back rotation, specifically the shift in snaps between Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, that's when things became clearer. Pittsburgh is not guessing anymore. They're not experimenting blindly. They are identifying the players who create explosive plays and giving them more opportunities. Wilson, unlike Austin right now, is trending upward. Arthur Smith, the Steelers' offensive coordinator, has been quietly praising him behind the scenes for weeks. Wilson brings something different to this offense. Route sharpness, acceleration that pops on tape, body control and timing. He understands space. He attacks zones. He finds soft spots. He demands attention even when he is not getting the ball. And Austin, on the other hand, has battled injuries this season, and that reality cannot be ignored. When both receivers were finally on the field together again, the coaching staff made a decision. They went with the player who has been showing the most consistency. And on Sunday, Wilson rewarded them. His stat line wasn't massive, one catch for 17 yards, but those 17 yards were more productive than Austin's single 5-yard target. The coaching staff sees where the momentum is. They see who moves the chains. They see who fits this new version of the Steelers' offense, which is very clearly evolving into a multi-layered attack centered around timing, versatility, and unpredictability. This is not the old Steelers' offense where everything felt predictable. This is an offense learning to manipulate defensive tendencies, creating spacing mismatches with tight ends, running backs, and now a rising playmaker at receiver. Wilson is becoming a priority. When a young player becomes a priority in Pittsburgh, that does not happen by accident. That happens because the staff believes he is part of the long-term vision. And make no mistake, this offense is starting to find its rhythm because the right players are being placed in the right roles. Pittsburgh's tight ends have become a central component of the attack in recent weeks, creating leverage and forcing defenses to shift coverage. That shift is opening lanes for Wilson to operate. More importantly, Wilson is earning trust with every route, every rep, every snap. He is carving out his identity as a future WR2 with WR1 upside if he continues on this path. When you watch the tape, the difference in his acceleration and burst stands out immediately. His ability to sell vertical routes, plant, and break inside is elite for a young player. He is comfortable working the middle of the field, something Austin still struggles with. And when Arthur Smith talks about Wilson increasing his role, he's not speaking casually. He is identifying the blueprint for this offense going forward, a blueprint that includes Roman Wilson as a legitimate piece of the Steelers' offensive engine. This shift also sends a message. Pittsburgh is no longer waiting for players to figure it out. They are rewarding reliability, rewarding performance, and rewarding playmaking ability. Wilson has shown he belongs on the field. He has shown that he can create advantages in critical downs. He has shown that he understands how to adjust in real time. And in a division as competitive as the AFC North, those traits are gold. This is the kind of decision championship-caliber teams make. The kind of decision that sets up not just a strong finish to the season, but long-term success. Pittsburgh needs explosive players, and Wilson fits that role. The offense has lacked a dynamic complement on the outside, and Wilson is stepping into that space with hunger and consistency. This Bengals game wasn't just a turning point because of the score. It was a turning point because of what it revealed about Pittsburgh's identity. This team is tough. This team is evolving. This team is hungry. They are correcting mistakes. They are learning how to impose their will. And most importantly, they have young talent stepping up in ways that change the entire trajectory of the season. This was the win that shows the Steelers are figuring out who they really are. And the answer is simple. They are a team that can dominate defensively, control the tempo offensively, and unleash young playmakers at the perfect moment. A team that can make noise in December. A team built for cold weather football. A team no one should underestimate. If Roman Wilson continues to rise, if this defense continues to suffocate elite playmakers, and if the coaching staff keeps making bold decisions that prioritize performance over reputation, then Pittsburgh is not just a dark horse. They are a legitimate threat to shake up the AFC playoff picture. This team is building something real, something strong, something dangerous. In Steelers Nation, you can feel it. You can feel the pulse of a team coming alive. You can feel the spark of a group that believes in each other. You can feel the rhythm of a season turning in the right direction.